It's been a weird few days for Vancouver Canucks fans. Not only have we been forcing ourselves, for the most part, to get up super early to watch these Olympic Games, but we also had ourselves a heartbreak at 8 a.m. in the morning on the West Coast yesterday after the Canadian-USA game. And plus, with the team being as bad as they are, I'm talking about the Vancouver Canucks, by the way, it's had a lot of us feeling a little bit dreadful to go back to watching this team, after cheering for a Canadian squad that housed some of the most talented hockey players in the world. But nevertheless, the transition back to Vancouver Canucks daily viewing gets underway over the next few days. And as the Vancouver Canucks are still last overall in the National Hockey League, they still have the highest odds at first overall. It opens the door as to what the question should be for this fan base. Take a look at this article posted on theprovince.com by Steve Ewan. Should the Vancouver Canucks pick Gavin McKenna if they get the number 1 draft pick? The Penn State winger has been red hot as of late, including picking up a goal and 7 assists in an 11-4 win Friday over Ohio State. This article is going to be linked in the description. It was published earlier this morning, but I wanted to expand more so on the idea of this piece and just how Gavin McKenna at this point compares to Ivar Stenberg. You see, I myself am a pretty emotional dude, and I let my emotions sway my opinions on what I think about sports more often than I'd like to admit. But I would be lying to you if I said, at this point in the timeline, February 23rd, 2026, that I'm thinking about Ivar Stenberg at number 1. Now, it was not like that a few weeks ago. 2 months ago, during the World Juniors, Ivar Stenberg really propelled himself to the top of many Canucks fans' potential wish lists because of how he had played at that junior tournament, his NHL readiness from the get-go, plus the fact that he has still gone out there with 32 points in 36 games as an 18-year-old in the SHL. There's so much to like out of Stenberg, and he is going to be a game changer. But to me, it feels like Gavin McKenna has been taking up most of the spotlight. Hasn't he? McKenna, 18 years old, he is doing his thing in Penn State. He is now up to 43 points in 28 games played after posting up a 10-point weekend. 2 goals, 8 assists, and the Saturday game included the overtime winner for Penn State, where Gavin McKenna does a really beautiful move to get by his check, then comes in towards the front of the goal, and then does a really nice little backhand, forehand move. He shoves it far side in tight. It is one of the most beautiful goals we have seen out of a draft-eligible prospect this year. Gavin McKenna, from the 8-point game and the 10-point weekend to the legal issues that he had faced and Canucks fans' just view of what happened on that night, it feels like McKenna has been the only name that has circled around the Canucks bubble the past few days. Stenberg is doing amazing, yes, but more people are talking about Gavin McKenna than ever before. And it's why this article posted by Steve Ewan even makes sense to be posted at this time. Let's go out there and read. It seems that Penn State University freshman winger Gavin McKenna is solidifying his place as the number 1 pick this summer's NHL Draft. The Vancouver Canucks, of course, are the favorite to win the draft lottery and land that pick. They are in last spot in the NHL coming out of the Olympic break. McKenna has had his name attached to this draft for a couple of years now, but he put up modest numbers by his standards early on after moving to Penn State. And various pundits have talked about the idea of either Ivar Stenberg or Keaton Verhoff going number 1 instead. Don't look now, but McKenna has 9 goals and 21 points in his last 8 games, and has registered a head-shaking, double-taking 44 shots over that span. Oh my god! What the hell? In his past 8 games, he's got 44 shots? He's averaging 5.5 shots a game? What the hell's going on with this guy? That's ridiculous. Included in all this was his 1 goal and 7 assist performance in an 11-4 victory over the visiting Ohio State Buckeyes team on Friday, and then making an Ohio State defender look like he was caught in cement on the way to a dazzling overtime goal in a 5-4 Penn State triumph over the same team on Saturday. You guys saw the overtime. I don't even know what to say. Penn State coach Guy Gadowski told the assembled media Saturday, "You can use all the superlatives you have, but I've run out." McKenna's 10-point weekend has him at 13 goals and 43 points on the year. And then you have yourselves the Conor McGregor celebration from Friday, where McKenna said, "Yeah, just emotional, just having fun out there. A lot of stuff going on in my life right now, so being out in the rink, being with the guys, that's my happiness. I thought I'd show some personality." Here is an interesting element to the McKenna-Stenberg idea, and I know I keep on bringing up Stenberg even though this is technically not a Stenberg video, but I wanted to read this tweet over here from Adam Kierszenblat of the Hockey News. Or, excuse me, is he on the Hockey News? Yeah, he is still on the Hockey News. Shout out to Adam Kierszenblat for all the work he does. He posted this on Twitter earlier yesterday. I had someone bring up an interesting point about the McKenna versus Stenberg debate. McKenna clips are easier to find compared to Stenberg, which plays a factor in public opinion. Both players are having incredible seasons, but only one is getting spotlighted on social media. Andreas Wall went out there and replied saying this, "Yeah, even here in Sweden, it's not that easy to find all the replays. Stenberg has some advantages over McKenna, like being 20 pounds heavier and probably more NHL ready than McKenna, but I still think McKenna rightfully goes first, as his ceiling seems infinite at this point." Yeah, no, you just gotta go out there and remember, Gavin McKenna, his cousin, is Connor Bedard. If there's anything running through those veins, then hey, this guy probably has the sauce to becoming a top-tier NHL player. Not saying that Stenberg does not, but at this point, thinking about the progression, thinking about the fan reception, thinking about the optics of it all, it seems like Gavin McKenna is going to be that number one guy. And so to answer this question from Steve Ewan, should the Canucks pick Gavin McKenna if they get the first overall pick? I don't know if should is the right word, but it does seem like they may be going down that path. Now, sure, there have been reports that Vancouver likes Ivar Stenberg. They like Keaton Verhoff. I don't think that's that big of a deal, though. I think it's probably just good business for Vancouver to keep tabs on the other guys that are supposed to go near the top of the NHL entry draft. Yeah, okay, Vancouver has a 25% chance of picking first, but they have a 75% chance of not picking first. They have a 75% chance of dropping, either to 2 or 3. So obviously, it's just Vancouver's process. They need to go out there and talk about all the other guys and put attention to other players around the top of this draft lottery and the draft itself. So they can't put all their eggs in the one basket. They have to start scouting other players, and they have started scouting other players. It's been very well reported. They like Verhoff, they like Stenberg. Doesn't really seem like McKenna got too much hype from Vancouver earlier on in the season, but that's definitely going to change with the weekend the guy has had, and the feeling that this legal situation just didn't really affect his draft stock in the ways that many people thought it would. In fact, I think it says something about the situation at the moment where a lot of folks seem to like McKenna more after that situation. So with all that said, you can let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about the Gavin McKenna situation? Should the Canucks take him? Are they going to take him? Are they all in on Gavin McKenna? I know in my head, I'm feeling all in. That's certainly going to change once in a while over the next few weeks and months, but we'll see whether or not it does to a significant degree. Thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.